Well, is it finished? The world is a little safer today with that monster dead. Now what of Elsa? You must have seen something. Damnation! Perhaps she escaped and ran for Homestead. Or maybe they sold her. I have to go back out there. If there is any chance that Elsa still lives, I have to find her. I owe her that much. Now that we're not in any imminent danger, we need to deal with a more subtle enemy: starvation. Devil's Crossing is running out of food and our supply runs are coming up dry. We need a reliable source of food and we need it fast. Barnabas has some ideas as to what we can do. Speak to him immediately.
Come, friend. Share a glass of clean water with old Barnabas to celebrate your victory in Burwitch. Right to business, then. Before the world fell apart, Burwitch got its food stocks from the vast farmlands to the northwest. With the bridge repaired, we need to find a way back to Homestead. The journey will take you far to the northwest, and I haven't a clue what's out there. Start by following the road out into the Arcovian foothills, all the way through Old Arcovia. With luck, the old coastal bridge near Twin Falls still stands. If that's not an option, you'll have to look for Smuggler's Pass. It's an old smuggling route that ran through the Broken Hills. It should connect to Homestead. We must find out whether the farmlands can still support us, or if the Grim Dawn claimed them as it did Burwitch. Nobody's been as far north as Homestead in months, so I can only imagine what sort of horrors have crawled out of the mountain crags following the Grim Dawn. Stay sharp out there.
Watch your back. Trust no one.
Well, if it isn't my old friend from Devil's Crossing. I had a feeling you'd be making your way through here. I haven't been entirely honest with you. I'm not a chef, not by profession anyway, although maybe that would have been a better path. As it is, I'm an assassin and former First Blade of the Erelon Emperor. It's a title I've not always been proud to bear, as my line of work has not always been virtuous, but I dealt with threats to the Empire. Now all of humanity is threatened by foes more deadly than anything we've faced before. It is, however, a time when I can put my talents to a more noble purpose. You haven't been entirely forthright with me either, Taken, but don't worry. I'm the keeper of many secrets. Taken? Well, formerly so, if we get down to semantics. The Ethereal left you just before you hanged to death. Am I not correct? My sources are quite good, if I say so myself. But you trusted me, and now I shall trust you. My job was to scout the countryside, get bearings on enemy strongholds, and investigate weaknesses. Your mention of people surviving out in Devil's Crossing was intriguing, so I wanted to see it for myself. Having learned everything I could about the area, I felt it was time to return to my men in Homestead. Can't say I like it any more than they do, but I am working alongside the Black Legion. They are all that remain of the Imperium's forces. Look, I'm sure you have many questions, but now is not the time. We need to get these people to Homestead. I came upon these refugees on my way through Smuggler's Pass. They were trapped and would soon have become food or entertainment for the trolls. I had to do something. Now we're stuck out here, caught in the midst of a battle between the trolls and the ethereal forces. The tunnel to Homestead is blocked by aether fire, and the only option now is a passage through the mountain deeps. It is a foul place at the bottom of the world, infested with all manner of terrible things that hate the sun. There is no way these people would survive down there. In Devil's Crossing, I saw that you had the power to open rifts. I need you to fight your way to Homestead, secure a rift, and come back for us. So please, help these people. Below is an entrance to the deeps. From there, you'll exit onto the dusty road that will lead you into Homestead. Be swift. I'm not sure how much longer I can hold off the trolls before they come in force. So how doomed are we? Good work. I can't say I enjoyed my first travel by rift, but it's certainly better than the alternative.
These are trying times, but we will persevere.
I wasn't sure you'd make it, but you pulled through. Those people owe you their lives. I wish that was the end of our troubles, but there is a mounting threat on the horizon that threatens to wipe us all out. I'm going to check in with Creed here, but I suggest you speak to Captain Somer. She's the Black Legion officer in charge of this sorry bunch. Look for the grumpy middle-aged hag in Black Legion armor. She will fill you in on the situation.
I'll skip the pleasantries. Olgrim tells me you're one tough slith, and right now that's what I need most. Will you fight for the Black Legion? You are joking, right? We are the Imperium's most infamous, if not elite, legion. Conscripted from criminals and political outcasts and tempered in the front lines of the Empire's most brutal wars. The only regiment of the Emperor's legions that has survived the massacre in the capital, if you could consider the losses we suffered surviving. I'd love to tell you our history, but I really have more important matters to attend to, such as the mission I need you for. The question really is, are you up to it? The Legion is split on two fronts. To the north, we have the Cult of Cthulhu, nasty bastards keen on turning all of us into a puddle of blood for their rituals. I have my best men out there right now scouting ahead. The cultists are amassing in great numbers, and I'd like to know why. There is a more pressing issue, however, and this is where you come in. Olgrim says that you are experienced with fighting the Ethereals. That's good. You'll need all your skills for this one. Far to the west, beyond the infested farms and the rotting croplands, there is an area teeming with Ethereals that we have started calling the Gruesome Harvest. It is a fitting title as the Ethereals have been gathering corpses, animal and human alike, in order to conduct their sick resurrection techniques upon them. The barn there has been giving off a blinding aether light non-stop for the last few days and nights. That is, until today. Whatever they are working on, it must be nearly finished. And knowing the Ethereals, it's something monstrous. We can't risk the Ethereals discovering that we know about their creation. I need someone to sneak in there and destroy this abomination before it even has a chance to wreak havoc upon my people. We'll only get one shot at this, so I want someone who has experience dealing with ethereal horrors to handle this mission. Will you be my champion?
This place may seem safe for now, but don't ever let your guard down. We are at war with devious enemies.
I hear you are headed to the gruesome harvest. Be mindful of the possessed trolls. They are even stronger than their living counterparts and highly resistant to the Aether. The Vanguards can even unleash the Aether in a burst of energy around them. The Reanimators will resurrect additional allies if not dealt with quickly. But if you manage to destroy them, their minions will fall along with them. I've dedicated all my resources to tracking down the ethereal threat, but I was too late to stop the events that led to the Grim Dawn. Now I study the enemy, learn their tactics, so that we make no further mistakes. Trust me, I fully intend to use every resource at our disposal.
Ah, there you are. Come, come, we have an errand you must perform immediately. Yes, at once. Do not tarry. There are experiments to be run, and Darlet and I require explosive materials immediately. No time for questions. These magical artifacts aren't going to break themselves down, now are they? Are you still here? Head to the mines around the Arkovian foothills and Old Arkovia immediately. Oh, good, good. Let us start the experiment immediately. Darlet, prep the blast furnace. Of course. I am fully confident that it will function as intended. Well, there may be a slight chance that we will tear apart reality when the artifact is consumed by the conflagration, but chances of that are very low. So low. 1 in a billion. You're safe. Really. Ah, I was correct. Just look at these wonderful components. We can finally begin studying artifacts properly. If only the Erelon Museum Society could see me now, they would be absolutely furious. Oh, and if you wish, you can have Darlet break down any items you find. Just bring her more explosives.
I hope you figure something out with Homestead soon, or I'm going to have to make some difficult decisions. There's not enough food to go around as it is. Come winter, we will all be doomed. It's going to be impossible to travel with so many people when the snow hits. We will have to leave sooner than that and hope for the best out on the road.
There are few people I hold in high regard, and I count you and Bourbon among them. You have no idea how relieved this makes me. I must go find her. You're probably right. I just wanted to patch things up. Elsa's a lot like my wife, you know, before the Ethereals got her. At least I know Elsa's safe.
There was much commotion reported in the area around the gruesome harvest. I trust you have good news? I see your reputation is well earned. The Legion thanks you for your service to the Emperor. With the ethereal threat crippled, we can now turn our attention to the Cult of Chthon. My scouts have reported back from the lands to the north. The situation is far worse than I ever imagined. The Cult of Chthon is on our doorstep and in great numbers. Worse still, they've been capturing farmers, travelers, even my own soldiers, and using them for their blood rituals. We cannot risk the cult bolstering their forces with chthonic beings. I need you to venture out beyond Sorrow's Bastion to the north and search their camps. Rescue any survivors before the cultists can use them as sacrifices.
Just the person I'm looking for. The others may disagree with me on this, but there's something I need you to do. There are 2 other groups of survivors in the region that we are aware of, but Somer and Creed do not consider them to be of strategic value. Frankly, I disagree. They may consist largely of fanatics, but fanatics aimed in the right direction can be a powerful force. I've asked representatives from both the Order of Death's Vigil and Kaiman's Chosen to visit here and speak to us. There is some obvious animosity between the 2, but perhaps we can leverage that against them. I would like you to be our representative. Speak to both of them. Learn all that you can and decide which of the 2 groups would prove to be of superior strategic value. I just don't see them working together, I'm afraid. Setting their fanatical beliefs aside, both groups have valuable resources at their disposal. Kaiman's Chosen may be religious zealots, but they are surprisingly well trained and should make formidable allies in battle. The Order of Death's Vigil, their powers over death send chills down my spine. But they are powerful mages and used to facing the world's terrors. I won't lie to you, it's not an easy decision. As much as I'd love to play politics again, Creed demands my attention at the war table. I'm asking you to do this because I trust your judgment.
You have done well in destroying that abomination. I dread to think what it could have done should it have been set loose. There was a time when I would have been tasked with tracking down members of the Order of Death's Vigil. But I think we are a little past the privilege of such prejudice. Kaiman's Chosen are fanatical heretics, but faith can be a powerful weapon.
The one you call Ulgrim has asked to speak with the Order of Death's Vigil, so I have come before you.
I have come to represent Kaiman's Chosen, as the one you call Ulgrim has requested.
May the light of Empyrean guide your path.
May the everlasting light of Empyrean guide your actions, just as it guides mine each and every day.
I am told that Lysandra and a couple others have returned safely from captivity, all thanks to you. We thought they were as good as dead after they disappeared in the Blood Grove. I could not agree more. We've been cut off from Fort Icon long enough. When the Legion was forced to abandon the capital, we made Fort Icon our new base of operations. It's an old fortress to the far north, once used to protect the trade routes leading through the Asterkarn Mountains. However, when we began marching south, we encountered immediate opposition from both the cult and the Ethereals. Many of our men were killed, pincered between two opposing armies, and we were forced to retreat towards Homestead. The Ethereals now control the area known as the Conflagration, but the cult of Cthon has taken residence within the Darkvale Gate, effectively cutting us off from our forces to the north. With the cult's front lines battered and their sacrifices freed, I believe it is now time to advance on their main position. Karaz, the Sigil of Cthon, the name has come up several times, including a recent bloody interrogation. We have no idea if he is the head of the entire cult or if he is merely a pawn in someone else's game, but one thing is for certain. He is at the Darkvale Gate. I need you to infiltrate the fortress and take out their leader. Lay waste to the cult's followers. Let nothing stop you in reclaiming our bastion. Why do you have such a grim look on your face? What happened out there? Let's see it. I'll be damned. If the bastards pull this off, we may as well slit our own throats. This scenario is well beyond my pay grade, or would be if I were getting paid. You will need to bring this to Creed's attention immediately. I've already informed Creed of your recent actions. He is most eager to speak with you. Show him what you've shown me. He needs to see this.
You're here. Good. We have much to discuss. I've heard of this ritual. It has been performed only once before. If my memory serves me, results were, shall we say, not good. The cult must not be allowed to see this through. We must make haste to Fort Icon at once. Will you join us? With the cultist ranks scattered, we can once again reconnect with the main Legion force to the north. And just in time, too. Based on the information you've brought back from Karos, we need to immediately send all available forces to the Necropolis and stop that ritual. Algrim and I will be leaving shortly with a small contingent of troops. Will you meet us at Fort Icon? It lies just beyond the Astakarn Mountains, through the Darkvale gates. Good, you've arrived. Things here are in worse shape than I thought. Betrayal, sabotage, call it what you will. We've been attacked from within. The Ethereals, it seems, have gotten a hold of the commander. Precisely. Based on the reports, Commander Lucius has been sending our men out on futile missions, thinning out the force's defenses. Then, once the watch was sufficiently weak, he opened the gates, allowing the Ethereals to pour in. He was not counting on human ingenuity, however. Weapons Master Edric collapsed the front gates with some explosives, cutting off the enemy's forces. When we arrived with reinforcements from the south, the coward Lucius fled into the armory. Until those gates are cleared, we are stuck here. I need you to enter the armory and recover what's left of the heavy explosives. Use them to clear the rubble. But beware of Lucius. He has shed his human disguise in favor of a monstrous form, which I cannot even begin to describe. You will likely have to deal with him to get to the explosives.
Prepare yourself. The nightmare buried underneath the necropolis is all too real.
Good work down there. We need to secure a forward position at the Necropolis immediately. We cannot simply march our forces straight into the Necropolis. The cult's minions will descend upon us in force, and we will be crushed before we can even get near the Tomb of the Watchers. Instead, we will put your unique skills to use. Make your way into the Necropolis past the Plains of Strife, and secure the nearest rift gate. Once you've done so, Algrim will come through with a contingent of our men. With the element of surprise on our side, we will strike at the enemy from within.
My, what a curiosity you are.
Have you secured the Rift Gate?
Took you long enough. There I thought I'd have to save the world all by myself. The cult of Chthon is too numerous for us to take them head on. But we can sabotage their efforts with a few precise attacks while our Black Legion friends keep them distracted elsewhere. It appears that the ritual is being powered by blood harvested at the cult's camps, delivered here in despicable blood wagons. To complicate matters, the constant flow of blood is maintaining a chthonic seal over the entrance to the Tomb of the Watchers. I may be able to breach it with some effort, but there is no way you would be able to follow me through. You will have to disrupt the blood deliveries first. The tomb itself is split into 3 levels, with the bottom floor sealed off behind ancient wards. But if the cult is delivering blood in those quantities, then they must have already broken through them. I'm going to enter the tomb and see if I can disrupt the ritual from inside. In the meantime, you should deal with the blood wagons. When you're finished, join me on the bottom level, just beyond the seal of the Lughorian. With luck, we will stop the cult of Chthon before the Lughorian even moves a tentacled limb.
You've returned. Is it finished then? And so our great moment of triumph is soured with tragedy. The cult's defeat at the Necropolis marks humanity's first major victory in this conflict, proving that we are not going to simply lie down and let ourselves be wiped out by fiends and spirits. Word of this victory will spread and give people hope that someday this nightmare will truly be over. Yet we cannot forget those who sacrificed their lives to bring us here. Brave men and women of the Black Legion who took up arms in the defense of Uralan, a nation that scorned them as criminals, outcasts, and even traitors. In death, they were none of those things. They died as heroes. But I refuse to count Ulgrim among the dead just yet. I owe him that much. I could use your help. Are you with me?